5 and sunny.
Oh man. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so this is it's kind of the first one we've done in a while, but by special request, Rono made me promise I would we're going to do the BD show tonight.
Oh wow.
He doesn't know that yet. Now, what were you saying before we came on? I thought that was hilarious um, about this attack that we learned on this war.
Uh, well, it was one of those strange situations. I happened to log on, I guess several hours into war, and these guys had teed off on a couple of our upper bases with an attack we've not really used that much. So a little bit of quick tutorials and practicing. I said, what if you can't beat them, then rip their arm off and beat them with it. So
That was
that's what we did. We ended up using their attack against.
we did. So I'm going to pick it up here. This is just fish. Go fish SC the attack he did. That was I think at this point I don't know how much time was left in the war, but we were down. We had to have 5 stars to win. I want to think it was like 54 to 49.
Yeah,
Um,
we were down a good bit. It was an uphill kind of situation, and credit this opponent clan. These guys were really racking up big percentages too.
they were. There was no way we were going to get the percentage. We had to get the stars to have. I think they had 95%
They did.
or something like that at the end. But this is the attack. Didn't they 3-star go fish using this attack?
Uh, I I believe so. They three-starred me as the number one base, and
Really? Oh wow.
yes, and also our third or fourth base. I don't know who else,
Mhm.
but they three-starred two of our top five bases with this basic attack. The same player did. Their number six player did,
Wow.
and
Uh-huh.
to his credit, and generally speaking, if early in a war you see your top bases getting leveled, then it's going to be a long war, and you've really got to bring the heat to have any chance at all.
Well, we were down, and of course, somebody Rono got a star, um, and then at this point, I think is it was all or nothing. At this point, for why you had to hit number 2 and then number 6, right? If I'm not
Right.
mistaken.
And for me, it was just right. It was just a matter of looking at the bases that I thought had the best chance for a three-star opportunity, and this is their number two base, I believe it is.
Right.
And with this particular attack, you lead with you drop a couple of jumps. It's a three jump, two rage, one heal spell, and I'm running 10 giants, 10 witches, and 15 bowlers, and then bowlers in the clan castle.
Hmm.
And it's a matter, for me at least, and bear in mind I had been doing this attack all of about 12 hours.
I was going to say
Uh,
I didn't know you'd done one before the war. You'd
I
tried
had
it out,
I had
trying to figure out. Yeah.
I hadn't, but my goal is to get to the eagle as quickly as possible.
Uh huh.
And if they have single infernos, your chances of success are much better. But uh, I try to absorb that first eagle hit, and that's what I did here in this case. Absorb that first eagle hit,
Uh huh.
drop a rage, and pop the warden ability. Now you'll notice on this one, I got lucky because you'll see at the very end, I was just
Yeah.
a
You're.
couple of seconds away from things fizzling out right here,
Yep.
and that single inferno targeted something else. I guess some archers, and my queen got just enough shots off on that inferno,
Yep. Right
and
before she died.
that kept it alive. And you find at this level with these three-star attacks that the queen, she's the hero almost all the time. And if you lose her early, your chances of getting three are very minimal. But fortunately here, there's you had enough witches running that
Hmm.
the skellies distracted the troops, the defenses long enough to take them out. So
And that 50 queen she's bad. She's a bad woman.
she's tough, man.
Yep.
I like it. And let's be honest. I mean, there's some skill involved, but it's a spam-like attack. But the timing matters, and you got to have luck. if you hit a mass of giant bombs, it could be over pretty quickly.
You know, I noticed that this is more right up my alley, the spam and spray and pray alley. Whereas you're so surgically precise, I'm so just throw the stuff out there. So I was shocked to see you.
This one I was a little bit concerned about. I kind of anticipated there were
Uh,
double bombs,
right.
giant bombs around the Eagle,
Yep.
but the pathway to the Eagle is pretty straightforward. It
Hmm.
didn't seem it was a short pathway to get there.
Yep.
Not a lot of defenses on this side, so hey, let's go for it and see what happens. And you'll notice that that first Eagle hit strike, I just let it go. And right here is where I'm going to drop the rage. I want to get as much value out of the rage as possible. So
Right.
I have a tendency to hold the rage a little bit longer and go a little bit deeper in the base,
Yep. I like
and
that.
then pop that ability. Now, this raid would probably not have been successful if the defender had bombs where those Teslas were. I don't know, hard to say, but
Mm-hmm.
this also is one of those cases where the queen was the hero,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw the potential to lose her right here. But when she took that jump and went across the wall, I knew I was in business.
Are you using 3 jumps every time, or you ever use 2 jumps?
I'm using 3 every time,
Uh,
only because um, I've experimented some with some wall breakers,
mm-hmm.
but you really need the offensive power that the bowlers and
Mm-hmm.
the witches bring. So I go with the 3 jumps, and so that I
Yeah.
bring a rage of the clan castle. I've got 1 rage in my troop mix, and then a single heal. The heal I think is really far more important than we even
You
realize.
know, I know,
Uh,
and I had not used it like you used it until this one. So, yeah, that was 3. I think that was the 3. So at that point, victory, man. At that point, I think that was a pretty major comeback. Being 5 or 6 down, no way in the world we're going to catch their percentage. And
yeah,
did they have some people not attack? I saw they had a few that didn't attack, but they were low fruit. I think that didn't.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so. I think once I got the the 3-star on their 6th base, I think they were out of options. So yeah, we squeaked it out. That was fun.
Yeah, well,
The,
I didn't. It was kind of a one trick show tonight with all 3 attacks the same. But I did want to show this tack attack, which is just. Tell me how this came about. How did you come up with this?
um, well, I'm glad you're showing this one and not the ones from the most recent war. Uh,
Yeah.
we find ourselves outmatched quite often, and TAC has now gone to Town Hall 11.
Yep.
That's my alt, and I've just had fun hitting up, attacking up.
Yep.
And what I'm looking for is, and I bring a fairly similar composition each time. I'll bring at least 5 haste spells, a rage, a jump usually, and a heal spell, and a poison, 1 or 2 poisons, usually just 1. Lots of balloons, and I'll release the balloons in clusters of 3 to 4, depending on the situation. Now here, you look at this basin. I'm looking for point defenses, vulnerable point defenses, those archer towers
Hmm.
on the outside in particular, and then trying to just pick up percentages. Uh, and here, this guy had traps set, really good placement of traps on this base
Yep.
that just about derailed me in a lot of ways. But if I can get the archer towers on the corners and along the edges, and can get minions in there, or even some archers in there to start taking percentages off, and I'll bring a few baby dragons to try to come in there where there's some heat on the defender, or heat on the defenses bringing heat. I'm trying to get up into the mid to upper 30 range on percentages before I go after the town hall. In this case, the town hall was exposed.
Hmm.
On these anti-3 bases, just patient attacks can generally yield 2 stars. And, in wars that are going to be close, if you can at least mount that 2-star
Hmm.
with a much lower attacker, um, then it frees up your top players to hit down. And those dips are so very, very important because you assume that you're going to get 3 stars on those. And then you can always come back later if you have extra attacks and let a stronger player go after like this base again and bring the percentage up. But, in this case, what I end up with 61%, that's pretty solid. I mean, that's
Oh yeah,
not a common percentage for a full Town Hall 11 attack on a base like that.
not at all. In fact, I think you were number 12. I'm not sure what base that was. That was,
Yeah.
but it was
Number,
like a 5 or a 3. I forget.
I think it was number, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Maybe it'll show here, but yeah, I thought that was a we get all these close wars now, and it's these little small details, that give you just that 1 point, that half a point that you need.
Right.
What do you think, KJ? We haven't talked to you. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I've got to agree with BD with these. A lot of our guys that are stuck at the Town Hall 10 level, it's not the most fun Town Hall to be at. Now, I'm speaking from a guy that was a Town Hall 10 for like 2 years.
Yep.
When you can help the clan by jumping up and knocking out one of the top 5 bases, getting a 2-star, I think that's honestly most beneficial at this point in the game. I just encourage our 10s to kind of hang in there. Definitely the game got a lot more fun when I went to 11 and can start 3-starring 10.5s in the occasional 11. But it's a grind, man. You got to stick in there.
That's no question. All right, guys. I don't have anything else to show. Anything else you guys want to say before we take off?
Not much here. I've said way too much already, I think.
I know, man. I know. We haven't done this in a while. We'll have to get back on track. I had some technical difficulties with the software. I couldn't figure it out, so we will see how this one.
Yeah, KJ's been on a power roll too because he's been using that mass bowler attack with healers very, very successfully. That thing is just absolutely,
I tell you what,
absolutely brutal. Particularly when dipping, that's a very, very strong attack.
Well, I tell you what, we'll show that next Sunday. We'll try to do this. I think we should try to do it every week on Sunday if you guys are interested.
Works for me.
Yeah,
That works.
and you can see my video. I got I cut off the corners. I don't know what happened to this one. I'll have to see if I can figure out what happened with that next time. All right, guys. Well, I enjoyed talking to you. We will do it again.
Likewise.
This is Fish and BD and KJ for Evil Napkins, BMF. See you next time, guys. Bye.
See you later.
Achievement.